All right, now we're actually live on the city page. Apparently, there was a misdirect through the wonderful world of Facebook. So for everybody else that's not on my own personal page, I guess, oh well, we'll kind of continue on with this one. We just left off talking a little bit about how the committees are a little bit different this year than in years past. I guess the question is, I know a lot of people asking, okay, so Representative Humphrey is not technically part of Reynoldsburg. You're right next to us, so we are neighbors in this particular regard. Um, just a little bit. Um, does anybody have to, I mean, do they have to live in your district? Like if somebody in Reynoldsburg needs help and can't get a hold of somebody but wants to talk to you to like maybe gain support for an issue or something, can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so first want to say to you all who are listening, I have a very, very small bit of Reynoldsburg, not a whole bunch, but a very small bit. And I'll say yes, there are people who call my office who live in Vandalia, Ohio, or Coshocton, or whatever the case may lots of times because they see what I'm doing might align with some things that they're interested in. So I always say that, anyone can reach out to my office. I'll be completely transparent and say if somebody needs help with something personally, say rental assistance or, disability, whatever the case may be, I would direct you to your actual representative and how I can kind of help do within like that warm transfer or whatever. I'll definitely do. But if there's a issue that you have interest in and you want to reach out to my office and find out how you can be a part or how we can work together or even try to make me aware of some things, definitely by all means please reach out.
All right. Um, so there's a lot of issues facing the General Assembly this year. I mentioned before that it's a budget year. What do you think ultimately, and again, I know this could change in 20 seconds, but what do you think some of the biggest issues are going to be for this General Assembly?
um Unfortunately, the frustration that I have with the General Assembly, just in general, and I'm going to answer your question, is that we don't always focus on the things that affects people's everyday life, and that can be really frustrating. Instead, we kind of go after things that really just don't make sense, and so we find ourselves on the defense trying to address those issues. So some of the issues that I can think of right off the bat is going to be the issue of DEI and schools and all of that. That's going to be a hot button issue, and it is going to affect our schools, unfortunately, universities and all that. The other thing that I think, especially since you're talking about the budget and all of that, and I know we're going to get into it, but the way schools are funded, um, I think that that's going to be an issue. I know I had seen an article where Ohio House Speaker Huffman said that, and this was a few weeks ago, that he wasn't going to touch the Cup Patterson method as to how schools are funded at this point. But I'm also seeing other places that that wasn't true. And so I think those are the things that we're really going to have to be on the defense on, and it's really unfortunate.
It is, I'm sure everybody loves hearing me talk about school funding. That's one of the biggest reasons why everybody tunes into the show. But it's a frustration because Cup Patterson actually moved in a really good direction for quite some time to get some equality in school funding throughout the state, and then to have the speaker come out and say that that's unsustainable, while at the same time, maxing out the voucher program that goes in that takes more money away from school districts. There's one school district, I believe it was Upper Arlington that gets approximately $800 or so in state funding per student based on their system and the formula. But if a student in Upper Arlington wants to go to a private school, they're given a voucher that's upwards of $10,000, and they get the full 10,000 as opposed to the district only getting the 800, which is obviously, I don't want to say it's unfair because that's not the right word for it, but I mean, there's obviously a big difference in some favoritism in that. But I do appreciate it. I know that everybody wants to know how can they make their voices heard. I always tell everybody that everybody loves to send an email, and I'm like, emails are great. That's always good from like the quantitative. You can say, I got 70 emails on this topic, 100 emails on that topic. But I also suggest that they just start calling. Every state representative, every state's senator has staff that will pick up the phone and answer. And I think a lot of times sharing the concerns with an actual human being is just as effective. And that's, again, people in your own district and people in neighboring districts, people that are on the committees and things like that. Is that a good course of action to take, or do you have any other suggestions about how to make their people's voices heard other than actually just voting?
Yeah, I think that is helpful. Definitely make calls, call as much as you can. Um that's helpful. I think the other thing is if you have an issue or if you say that there is a bill that you think will be detrimental to your community, or even if you think it's helpful and you want to play a part in that process either by being on the defense or the offense, I think it's important to come testify. So not only call our offices and say, hey, I'm opposed to HB, whatever. I know that this bill is going to be in this committee on this day at this time. I want to come and I want to speak against it, or I want to speak for it. It is our job to let you know how to do that so that you can be here, because no one can tell. I In my 3.5 years of being a state representative, I have never seen where a committee chairman has said no, this person cannot testify if they've done everything in a decent and orderly fashion, timely fashion. You do it early, all of that. I've never seen them be turned away. And so I think calling is helpful. I think it is better opposed to emailing. Um, but I think also being here, showing up and speaking out against a bill or for a bill, that however you land, I think that that's going to be helpful as well. But you just call your state rep. The easiest way is to call your state rep and then just ask them, how can I, speak against this bill? And that representative staff will get you set up and on your way to be able to testify. That's
Yeah, I mean that's great. That is absolutely perfect, and I think getting more people out there and a bigger audience to let people know what their feelings are, especially face to face, right? On the floor of the House or the Senate and things of that nature. That's a really good suggestion. We did get one question, but go figure, we already covered it on school funding. I know that that's going to be an interesting fight, depending on which way the speaker comes down on it and how the House bill differs specifically from what the governor does. But if anybody else needs to get in touch with you, what's the best way that they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can always email my office with specific concerns at rep02@ohiohouse.gov. You can call 614-466-8010. Or you can search on Google Latyna Humphrey and you'll find all my social media, all of even my office information. That's easiest for you. Just Google my name and something will pop up. I'll respond back to you. And if it's an office concern, I will direct you to reach out to my office and I'll let my office know you're reaching out, and we'll get it all set up and ready to go.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Wishing you nothing but the best of luck. Stay strong and keep fighting for the people because I know that's what you do every day, and we all appreciate it. And I know not everybody gets that chance to say thank you, but thank you.
Thank you, man.
All
All right,
right. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
you too. Okay.
Bye. All right, everybody else, just to let you know, we have new lighting here in this office. We have LED lighting, and it's driving Jennifer insane. So you may see some different lights being turned on and off to hit that particular thing there. So if you want to know why it looks like we're having a power outage, that's because of Jennifer. A lot of other things going on. The next school board meeting is February 18th. It's right here at City Hall, and that is going to be the big one. However, there is a community conversation tonight. I just saw about this late yesterday. So it is the next step in that strategic planning portion of everything, where community members, staff members are all encouraged to attend. Begins at 5:30 today at Slate Ridge Elementary School. So if you want to go in and get some information about what's going on and share your thoughts on the future of the district, that's an opportunity. You can also meet board member Neil Whitman, who has changed his lunch with Neil due to an unforeseen scheduling thing that's happening later on this month. So he's going to be doing it a little bit later in the day, but check out his Facebook page for the exact times. Same location, Graham Road Welcome Center for Neil Whitman. But we do have some, he does want to talk with anybody and everybody about what's going on within the school district. So that's that one. Moving forward beyond that, we do have a Wagner Road update. We have our big meeting tomorrow. However, I will say the big thing that we were waiting for is a bit of weather to weatherproof that bridge. That has happened and has been completed. So now they're going to go ahead and make sure that the bridge is reinforced. And the hope is within just a couple of weeks that the bridge will reopen. We'll have another update probably sometime tomorrow towards the end of the day after our big meeting on that one. But the crews out there are working. Same thing with Columbia Gas moving forward. So that will be there. We do have a couple of other big announcements this week. Next week, enjoy Valentine's Day. That's going to be a fun one for everybody. But the week after is going to be a little bit busier. On Tuesday night, February 18th, we're going to be at the Reynoldsburg Library, and that's going to be at 6:30. And we're going to talk about the flood mitigation study. The study is complete. The results and recommendations are all set to go. So we're going to have that town hall on February 18th. We are not going to be able to broadcast it. It is in the library, and they are not set up necessarily for that, especially with the acoustics and sound and things. And they probably have brighter lights than this, so Jennifer's head will explode, all crazy stuff going on. But we will have the information and the slide deck from that on our website the following day. But again, if you can make it, it's at the Reynoldsburg Library at 6:30 on February 18th. Got some pretty cool Parks and Rec things coming up. Family Fun Night with the Realm of Reptiles, February 5th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Senior Center. We also have the Princess Party, which I believe there's still some spots available, March 15th from 9:30 to 11:30 at the Reynoldsburg Police Department. There's going to be crafts, obviously lots of singing and all sorts of, I'm sure somebody's going to be dancing as well. So we've got that going on. There's still a little bit of time left to register for some of our spring sports. So go ahead and check that out on our website through Parks and Recreation. And we do have, of course, our big thing coming up in March. That is our BYOB. This is our Build Your Own Business and Job Fair that's going to be at the Reynoldsburg Community Church, and it's going to be from 6 to 7:30. You're going to have all sorts of lending institutions there. You're going to have some people from our building department to talk about that process of everything. And there's also going to be plenty of people there looking for jobs to offer jobs for our community. So hopefully you can make it out there again, and that will be March 13th. So come on and check that out. Some other events that are coming up, March 29th is Reynoldsburg Community Association Spaghetti Dinner Fundraiser. That's from 5 to 8 p.m. Community Association is that group that puts on our 4th of July parade, Christmas on the town, and partners with us at our Halloween weekends in the Berg. So go ahead and check them out. It's great food. It's fun. You get to go and chit chat with everybody, have a good meal, and all the money's going for a good cause with our community. Spaghetti's not your thing, or if you want to go ahead and try and work off some of that pasta after the fact, we have our litter cleanup program. We are looking for people to adopt a road for 2025. So if you are interested in that, all you have to do is reach out to us here at the city. We provide the trash bucket, the gloves, the trash pickers, everything. So you can go ahead and pick that stuff up. If you do it 5 times a year, you're able to go ahead and get a sign kind of saying, congratulations, this area is maintained by your particular organization. We are also moving forward with our Celebrate USA 250. America turns 250 years old next year, and we are an official city now. We've got the proclamation and everything ready to go. We even got a flag. We'll put that up when it gets a little bit warmer, just to kind of show that. But that's, again, we're already in preparation to go ahead and celebrate America's 250th birthday starting next year. Couple other things just want to there's a lot of conversation going on about things that are going on at the state level and things that are going on at the national level, and how that's going to impact the city of Reynoldsburg. And the quickest answer is I have no idea. We know that some things are going to directly impact us as far as some of our social services that we've seen here in Reynoldsburg. Some of the federal funding has been paused on that. Some infrastructure deals have been paused on that hopefully are not affecting us. So we'll just have to wait and see. The state is going through their budget, so we don't know what's going to happen with the local government fund. We don't know if there's anything else in there that the State House is going to look to put in play that might impact cities. There's discussion of doing something about the state income tax. And if they reduce the state income tax, that might reduce some of the money from the state that comes to the cities in the first place. So we're on top of all of those things. And for those people that are really interested, happy to have that conversation for you as they come along. But a lot of the good stuff is going to be actually on February 19th, right here at City Hall with the State of the City. It is a good opportunity to see kind of like some of our successes from 2024 and most importantly, what we're building towards for 2025. The members of the Chamber of Commerce are going to get a little bit of a sneak peek tomorrow at their chamber lunch, where I think a number of people have registered, I think the Hickory House is going to be providing food, and it's going to be the ribs out there. I believe they're done taking tickets into that one, but you never know. You could reach out and maybe they have a spot for you if you want to see, or you can come for free and just listen to me for talk and not eat ribs. Completely up to you. But for City Hall, for our function on the 19th, the doors open at 6:30. I'll start probably about 7 o'clock, and then we'll wrap up around 8ish with a great opportunity for some questions and answers. Did get one good question from about the Boys and Girls Club. Will the Boys and Girls Club still be coming with the new athletic facility, but next to COPC? We are absolutely hoping they do. We know that they're in talks right now. As we know, Boys and Girls Club is an independent charitable organization, so they're just trying to make sure that they're able to financially do what they need to do to make sure they have that location there. But that is our intent. The developer wants them there. We want them there. The schools want them there. And again, this was all started because one student in high school said, "Hey, wouldn't it be nice if?" Sometimes that's how the best ideas are acted upon, is when you actually get to vocalize them. So apologize for some of the technical difficulties early on. I don't know if that's kind of prevented anybody from asking questions. Do we have any questions? Nothing. All right. But again, State of the City is going to have some updated information as well as some development news. Obviously, we're hoping to announce all of the musical guests for the 2025 Tomato Festival. We're hoping, as Jennifer just took a deep breath. So we're hoping to announce all of those at that particular point in time, and some other cool development things all the way across. But with that, I do ask everybody to, in this time, because of the uncertainty and the things that are going on, stay safe, stay respectful. People can disagree, and there's nothing wrong with that. People have different opinions, but you don't know when you're talking about certain things, who you're impacting. It could be your friends, it could be your neighbors, it could be your loved ones. So remember that everybody is entitled to their own different view on things, and going after people on social media in that regard is probably not the best way to do it. I'm all about having conversations like that face to face, because you get the idea of what's actually going on. That is not to say that we don't have serious issues in our country or in our state or even in our city. Of course we do. But the whole purpose of the American experiment and this idea of democracy is that we talk our way through everything. It's a lot better that way. And certainly I invite any of you out there that would like to have those types of conversations. They want to have a conversation with me about it. I'm perfectly fine to do it. We can meet, have a cup of coffee, and we can try and solve all the world's problems. But otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your week. Again, stay safe and respectful. And next week, we have our first time guest is from our city attorney's office. It's Maria Watson. She's going to be joining us, and we are going to be discussing a little bit about how she makes a difference here in the city that you might not know of. She works with our amazing drug recovery court, and we're really looking forward to her being on the show and talking about how she is truly changing people's lives. So with that, have a wonderful rest of your time, unless there's any last second questions. All right, everybody. Thanks again for the paying attention during the technical issues. We'll work those out for next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye.